If you haven't reached your first 100 sales on Etsy, or you are about to start an Etsy shop and you want to know what to do to reach your first 100 sales, then this video is for you. First of all, grab your free listings if you haven't started your Etsy shop, because then you save on your first free listings on your new Etsy shop and you don't have to pay any fees. And also grab my little ebook with 50 digital product ideas. You find the links in the description down below. So let's get right into how to make your first 100 sales on Etsy. So the first thing you need to do is you need to know what it is in demand. And that means you need to do your research. And you can use tools like Everbee. I have a link down in the description below, and you find some other tools as well. You can just test them and see what suits you the best. But it doesn't make sense to try to get sales if your product is not in demand. If no one is looking for it on Etsy, there is the likelihood that anyone comes to your product and sees it on Etsy is very, very low. So do your research, and I have a few videos about it, so it can help you a little bit to know where to start, but you really need to know what people want to buy before you even start anything. But once you know, I think the most important is that you have a few listings. One listing will be not enough. I think sometimes people think if they maybe just create a listing or 5 listings and then they're waiting for sales, but I think it doesn't work like that. I have not done it that way. I concentrated a lot on the creating process, and I think you should do 2 and have at least 10 or 15 listings you can present, because when a buyer comes to your shop, at least there is some content and they see, you have a wonderful banner, you have a brand created, and there are some listings, and you already appear more professional. Of course, it depends a little bit on what kind of product you create, but even if you create more complex products, you should have at least around 10 of them, maybe 5 to 10, because one product is just not enough to get your first 100 sales. And how do you get your first sales? And I would highly recommend to ask your friends and your family to buy from you and to even leave you a review. And why do I think that's a good idea? First of all, it's pretty hard to reach people from the beginning. Some people nail it, but the majority of us, it's not that way. So how you can actually get your first sale is just to ask some people to buy it from you. And I think they can also give you a bit of feedback if it's something they're generally interested in. But otherwise, ask them for a review, because again, when people, like not your friends or family, come to your Etsy shop, they will see already a few sales. They will see that there are already a few reviews, and that helps enormously to have this professional appearance and the trust people have in you to buy from you. And then it's also quite important to be active on your Etsy shop and to create products. I think again, some people think they could just create a few products and then wait for the sales to come in, but really don't focus on that. Focus on your creating process, have a plan, what you want to create, and even if it takes you a little bit of time, be active on your Etsy shop, but also behind your Etsy shop. So create your products. And I, for example, published 1 listing every day, and because I created printables, again, depending on your product, publish at least once or twice a week if you can. And if you haven't started your Etsy shop and you want to start with a few products, create the products first and then have a plan when to publish them. That way you have a bit of time to create the things before you actually have a public shop. I think it's also really hard to concentrate on getting every single sale. I mean, yes, there's a little bit of obsession about it. I still feel to this day, I want a sale. I love the cha-ching from Etsy, but I think you will have a better and easier time if you concentrate more on the process and being active, change the announcement in your shop maybe every 2 weeks or more often if you want to kind of show that you are an active seller, that you're here responding to messages, and that you are serious about your business. Oh, and one thing which is also really good is run sales. At the very beginning, I was running sales every 2-3 days, but honestly, what works much better is 24-hour sales. And it is because, we are all humans and we have this urgency. If something expires, then we need to make sure to get it before, the sale is gone. And obviously, the next day you will have another sale and it could be the same amount. And don't be worried that the same people come to your shop and think like, oh, she was running a sale yesterday and now she has another sale. No one really thinks about that. I don't think that when I buy anything, and most of the people who actually find your listings, your products, your shop are new people. So barely a person comes twice to your page or to the same listing and thinks like, oh, they are running the same sale again. They are more grateful that there is another sale and maybe take the chance to buy another product of yours. And also make sure to run Etsy ads. I know Etsy ads such a weird kind of topic. Some people say you can absolutely make it without Etsy ads, and I do agree, you probably can, but Etsy ads is a tool you can use, and it doesn't have to be super expensive either. You can just spend $1 a day, and you can go up to whatever, $4 a day at the beginning when you start out. I think it is quite important when you start a new Etsy shop because you want eyeballs to your listings and on your shop. And the best, or not the best, but one of the things you can do is paying for ads. So people are actually visiting your store and seeing your products. And I'm not saying that Etsy ads are maybe super effective, you can make a lot of money with it. I don't think so, but Etsy ads definitely give you the traffic and the eyeballs, and that means that your listings are getting a bit more attention. And when people are convinced this listing or this product is really good and they buy it, that definitely will boost this listing, within the Etsy algorithm. And yeah, Etsy ads give you a chance to just stand out a little bit more from your competitors and to be seen. And with Etsy ads, I would also try to keep them on for at least 30 days or something. Obviously, you can vary maybe with the amount of how much you want to spend each day, but you can also not do anything really wrong with it. At the end of the day, there's nothing much you have to do with Etsy ads apart from switching them on and deciding how much money you want to spend each day. And then every now and then I would check the keywords Etsy comes up with to kind of boost your product and to see if these keywords are actually relevant for your listing. I nowadays leave them on at least $1 a day, and sometimes I increase it a little bit. I experiment a little bit with it to see if there are any results. And I made a video about Etsy ads already, and I will continue to make more videos about it because I experimented quite a bit with Etsy ads. So there's some interesting things to talk about. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow the journey. And last but not least, there is also the pricing of your products. So this is maybe a little bit of a difficult topic because I remember when you start on Etsy, you just want to make money, also to kind of demonstrate that your products are, in demand and that you can make money on Etsy. But the truth of it is that at the beginning, you just want to make it as simple as possible and as the biggest advantage for you to have these first sales in your shop. And that also means that you have to experiment maybe a little bit with pricing, and maybe you even have to have a price which is lower what you maybe would expect for your product. Or you can also do that by having the price you want to for your product and then have a massive discount on it. And again, this is just for the beginning to get those eyeballs to your products, to your shop, to attract people to your new shop, which doesn't have that much exposure yet compared to other shops. So you have to sacrifice a little bit at the beginning, spending some money on ads, but also lower your price a little bit to really see what people want. For example, if you discover that there's one product people really start buying, then you can lower your discount, for example, or increase the price a little bit, or also boost it with Etsy ads. So there's a few different things you can actually do when some of your products get more attraction. But yeah, if you do all of these things I mentioned in this video, you will get your first 100 sales on Etsy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!